The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Mock draft season, baby. The New York Jets are taking over the NFL draft, according to an ESPN draft expert who released his first mock for 2026. We'll cover that and much more with the soon-to-be-married Matt O'Leary, who joins us in his weekly spot. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started.
How do you think Justin played overall?
There's some things that he could have done better. Again, we do have to watch the tape.
Oh, there it is. You got to bench him. He stinks.
A new chapter for the Jets has started. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji are tasked with shaping the future of this franchise. Will they be the ones to finally get it right? We will be here for every step of the journey on the Jake Asman Show, breaking down all the storylines, every game, and everything in between. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chats, baby. Cut the line. The Jake Asman Show starts right now.
Yes, it does. Welcome in, everybody. Click the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. Reminder, you can take the show on the go. Apple or Spotify, just search The Jake Asman Show. Leave a 5-star review while you're there, and you can listen to anything you miss live each and every day right here on YouTube. This Saturday night, this guy will be getting married. Ladies and gentlemen, it's our guy Matt O'Leary who joins us now in his weekly spot. Matt, I was just talking to you off air. I mean, 2 days to go. How we feeling?
Feeling good. We're just full on excited at this point, right? Like a lot of prep has gone into this. It's crazy that it's finally here, and just run around doing last minute stuff today and tomorrow and ready to enjoy the weekend.
What crazy Jet story is going to somehow happen Saturday night, forcing us to just grab our phones, go live, and get you as a newly married man to give your first Jets take as a married man?
See, I thought it was going to be Aaron Glenn not naming the quarterback, and then we find out Saturday night who the quarterback's going to be. But after the trade deadline is passed, I don't know, right? Like, I feel like we should be in the clear. I say that with like a knot in my stomach because I know this is just how it goes. Something is going to happen, but what it is, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine at this point.
Yeah, you know what? After the way Glenn handled it yesterday, he didn't do what he has done in the past where, he didn't give an answer or said, instead of ask Rich, ask Diana, who was the first person to break the news of the quarterback change. He just came out and totally handled it differently, handled it normally, how every other team in the league would handle it. He just cut to the chase and said, yeah, we're going with Tyrod Taylor for this game Sunday.
Yeah, and like, I'm sure you're in the same boat as they should. Unfortunately, it just got to a point where they weren't competitive offensively with Justin Fields, and it's really hard to evaluate this young wide receiver core that's playing without Garrett Wilson. How do you know what John Mechie or A.D. Mitchell or even Arian Smith is when your quarterback's throwing for 60 yards a game? And it's like we're throwing a party that he hit 116 on Thursday night last week, which is just absurd. So they go to Tyrod Taylor, who, like, let's not get crazy here. He's not a long-term answer, but I feel better about evaluating the offense and Tanner Engstrand too, for that matter, with him out there.
Totally agree. And look, at the end of the day, do I think Tyrod Taylor is this great, quarterback? No, but I mean, Justin Fields, it was just, it was at a point where it was just unplayable to go forward with him if you're trying to especially evaluate these younger players. And that to me is the biggest thing at this point. When you're 2-8, you're looking for things that you could grab onto that help you going forward, and evaluating what you have in Mitchell, Mechie, seeing what Mason Taylor could do these final 7 games. That to me is so much more important than just sticking with Justin Fields because, he's 26 years old and, he might still have this upside the truthers of Fields believe in beyond 36-year-old Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, like, I don't see why the Jets owe that to Justin Fields. Like, I know they gave him a pretty nice contract in this past offseason, but it's not like they used the second overall pick on the guy. And look, we were all frustrated when they were doing it with Zach Wilson, but at least with Zach Wilson, like, from Joe Douglas's perspective, I get it a little bit more than with Justin Fields. He didn't want to admit he was wrong about the second overall pick. All you have to do is say, hey, you know what? We took a flyer on this guy. We paid him what we had to get him in here. The options weren't that great this offseason. yada, yada, yada. And to be honest with you, I think if Tyrod Taylor was healthy going into the Cincinnati game, I think that's when they make the change. But unfortunately, he wasn't. Justin Fields had a pretty good game against Cincinnati, and they won 2 games in a row. So hard to make a change after that. And with a mini bye, it just feels like a natural time to make that transition.
Totally agree. Comments, questions, super chats, they will cut the line today. We got a lot to talk about with the Jets and their future. Quick thought on the game Sunday now, Matt. I mean, you look at the spread, the Jets not expected to win. They're a 13.5-point underdog over on FanDuel. What would you like to see in this game Sunday? What would be a performance by the Jets where even if they don't win, you look at it and go, okay, I could live with the result?
If they keep it a 1-score game, honestly, I'd be surprised. And it looked like they were going to do that against New England for most of it, and then kind of got away at the end, and New England ended up covering the big number. If the Jets keep it a 1-score game, if they give up 24 points or less, I think I'd be pretty happy with that. Unfortunately, I don't think that's how it's going to go. I think Baltimore gets over 30. I struggle to think the Jets are scoring 20 points this week, even with the change. I just think it's a really bad matchup for them. But, it would say a lot about this coaching staff and, the decision to go to Tyrod Taylor if they're able to, keep pace with the team that I get. They're only 5-5, but they've rattled off 4 wins in a row and look like they're hitting their stride.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Let's do a big giveaway here on the final show that Matt O'Leary joins us before he's a married man. Ladies and gentlemen, end of the show this afternoon. We're going to combine entries because it's a big prize. A signed Joe Namath football is up for grabs. So if you want to enter, make sure you gift a membership or just do it the old-fashioned way. Become a channel member like I Got Kids did. He entered himself in the raffle. We will combine the entries. So we'll give everyone watching this show and our afternoon stream with Dylan Terraman an opportunity to enter the raffle for the Namath football. And then, of course, raffle 50, the top prizes for those checking in for the first time this week. Signed Nick Mangold football, signed Armand Membo jersey, and they signed Wayne Corbett football. So we have that to look forward to next week on the show. Speaking of things to look forward to now, ladies and gentlemen, the first of many mock drafts we will be discussing. And we start with the one from ESPN.com. Matt Miller, who's been covering the NFL draft for a long time. The last few years he joined ESPN. He released his first mock draft of the upcoming 2026 draft season. So we start at the very top because the New York Jets are involved. They make a trade from number 5, where they currently are, up to number 1 with the Tennessee Titans. Matt Miller writes, armed with 2 first-round picks and an additional second-round pick in 2026, thanks to the deadline trades of cornerback Sauce Gardner and defensive tackle Quinton Williams. The Jets are moving up the Tennessee spot at number 1 in this mock draft. Since the Titans used their 2025 number 1 pick on quarterback Cam Ward, they could be persuaded to move down and accumulate draft capital to build around their young QB. In this deal, the Jets would send both of their first-round picks, number 4 and number 28, and their 2027 second-round pick to the Titans for the top selection. So let's just start with this trade. Forget the player they trade up for. We'll get to that coming up. But, Matt, if I say to you, Jets go from 5-1, and it will cost them, obviously, their own first-rounder, so they'll swap picks with the Titans. Then the Colts pick this year, the other first-rounder the Jets have, and the Jets, who do have 2 twos in 2027, they trade one of those 2s next year. Your thoughts on this deal? Do you think this is too much? Fair amount? Give us the initial reaction.
I think it's fair, all things considered, right? Like, you would be trading up and still having your first overall. You'd have the first overall pick, and assuming we're taking a quarterback at that spot. So you get your quarterback. You still have your 2 twos in the second round that you can either stick and pick there, or if you wanted to get back into the first round, you could trade and do that. And you're not touching any of the first round picks next year. See, my thought was they would probably have to give up one of the first round picks next year. And instead, Matt Miller has it as a second round pick. So that's something that I think is appealing for the Jets, right? Like, you have a, 2 second rounders this year. You'd be landing your quarterback, and yeah, you wouldn't have a second round pick next year, but you'd have 3 first round picks. And if they really wanted to, they could trade down with one of them and accumulate more draft space in 2027. So I like this move for the Jets. This is a trade that I would be comfortable with.
I'm seeing the chat and people are freaking out. Guys, this to me would be a no-brainer if this is all it took. If you believed in one of the quarterbacks to move from 5 to 1. Let's remind people. The Jets have 2 first-rounders this year. They also have 2 second-rounders this year. Next year, they have 3 first-rounders plus their own second-round pick. That would be the pick that would be used in addition to trading the Colts pick. So I don't think this is an unfair trade. You're moving up in this scenario from, I guess it's number 4, although Tankathon has the Jets at 5. So it's either 4 to 1 or 5 to 1, depending on whichever, draft site you want to use where the Jets are actually picking at this point. To move up, let's say it's 5 to 1, and it's 1 first-round pick at the end of the draft this year, end of the first round, and it's a second in 27 when I still would have 3 first-rounders. This, to me, would be a no-brainer. Once again, I still have 3 first-round picks in 2027. I got my quarterback now going into 2026, and I have all the ammunition still to surround that player with what he needs to be successful. And if you really want to, play 3D chess here, the Jets could simply trade out of the first round with one of their 2027 first-round picks and recoup the second they gave up in this deal the prior year to get their quarterback. So this, to me, is not that much, given you need a quarterback, and you would have your pick of any quarterback you want if you're making the deal with the Titans and getting to number 1.
Yeah, and I'm in full agreement there. And like I was saying before, my thought would be the price would be significantly higher than this. And if it was, right, and if we were talking about giving up both first rounders this year and maybe you have to give up a first rounder next year, you might not feel as good about it. But, the fact that you're only dipping into the second round in 2027, a year out, I feel like it is pretty good. Honestly, I don't know if Tennessee would go for this. I think they could get more. And if that's all it took from the Jets side of things, assuming they really liked one of Ty Simpson or Fernando Mendoza, I'd be on board with it.
This, to me, is a fair and no-brainer deal. I'm amazed there's so many people in the chat who are freaking out over this. But all right, let's see how people will handle this. Ladies and gentlemen, the New York Jets are now picking number 1 overall, and they select Fernando Mendoza, quarterback, Indiana. Matt Miller writes, Jets general manager Darren Muji didn't load up on draft capital by trading away Gardner and Williams to watch teams pick QBs ahead of him. So I had the Jets aggressively move up for Mendoza, a pocket passer with great touch and timing who could carve up a defense with surgical accuracy while providing enough mobility to execute on the move. Mendoza might not be in the Caleb Williams class in terms of top quarterback prospects over the past 5 years, but he's the best in this class, and the Jets have to take a swing at the position. Justin Fields was just benched, and Tyrod Taylor isn't the long-term answer. Mendoza's 30 touchdown passes to 5 interceptions shows how careful he is with the football. Now, I will get out in front of this. I like Mendoza. I also like Ty Simpson. If the Jets are determined to get Mendoza and that's their guy, I have no problem with this strategy. Again, you're swapping your first-round pick 5 to 1. You're trading away the Colts pick. You still have their first in 2027. And I'm trading away the second-round pick that I got from just being the Jets, my own second-round pick in 2027. Dylan Terraman had a tweet kind of summing it up here. Again, this to me is not that much to get your quarterback. You're swapping ones. You trade an extra 1, an extra 2. I still have 3 first-round picks in 2027. I feel great about my chances of getting not only my guy, but still having all these extra picks we accumulated to build around our guys. So I am 1,000% on board with this if the Jets are going to go out there and be that aggressive to try and get up to number 1 to get their QB.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of just who do they prefer in that spot? To me, it's down to 2 for the top quarterback spot in Mendoza and Simpson. I like Mendoza a little bit more. I'm not anti-Ty Simpson, though. I think he is someone who would be worthy of a top pick. And if the Jets went that route, I wouldn't be upset by it. And I get it. Mendoza isn't like a Caleb Williams or Trevor Lawrence or one of these highly touted prospects that go number 1 overall. But the Jets have kind of gone that route the last couple times, drafting these guys with elite traits and Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson, and they never developed. And maybe this time they take a different approach. They go with someone who maybe has a little bit of a higher floor, questions about the ceiling, but I don't know. Like, I think you look at what the Lions did with Jared Goff, and I know everyone hates making the comparisons to the Lions, but I'm going to keep doing it with Aaron Glenn and Tanner Engstrand here. They might just want out of their quarterback someone who can distribute the football and run their offense. And I think Fernando Mendoza can do that for you.
I'm all in on this because once again, I don't think this is that much to get up to number one. Again, folks, you're not trading 2 first rounders. It looks like, oh, they're trading 2 ones. You're trading the first rounder you have in the top 5, swapping it to get number 1, and throwing in 1 additional first rounder this year, which is going to be in the mid to late 20s from Indianapolis. Okay, fine. I still have my 2 second-round picks this year beyond that. So if I want to come back into the first round, guess what I could do? I could trade up and get back in if the Jets really love a player. And I think most importantly, you're not touching the 2027 first rounders. Wasn't that such a big deal for so many Jet fans? No, I'm not touching the 2027 first rounders. I want to keep all 3. You're keeping all 3 here. I could easily recoup what I just gave up in this deal a year from now by trading out of one of the first round slots I'm in with those 3 2027 first rounders. So the Jets could still end up getting even more picks even after making this deal a year from now. So if they love Mendoza, get him. Like, there's no other way to get your quarterback if you're the Jets. There's no free agent option that makes sense. I don't buy the Joe Burrow is going to be traded stuff. That's not going to happen. Like, this is an opportunity to get your quarterback if you believe Mendoza is the guy. You have to do it.
Yeah, and like, not a 1-for-1 comparison, but the last time we saw a first round pick get traded was Chicago in 2023. In order to for the Panthers to go up and get Bryce Young, it was pick 9, not pick 5. But the Bears received a wide receiver 1 in DJ Moore,
yep.
The pick 9, second round pick that year, a first round pick the next year, and a second round pick in 2025. That feels like a significantly higher haul. And again, I get it. It's 4 picks lower than where the Jets are right now. But still, from a value perspective, that's not overwhelming. I was expecting it to be significantly more than what Matt Miller was projecting.
I have said this. Not all drafts are created equal. And depending on the other teams that are involved here, like if the Jets are the other one that is like that aggressive, it's not going to cost as much as some think. Again, if I'm only trading my extra 1 this year and a second next year, and I'm keeping all my picks in 2027 in the first round, to me, it's an absolute no-brainer. Now, if you're not sold on Fernando Mendoza, why don't you take a listen to Fernando Mendoza wowing Hall of Fame college football coach Urban Meyer on his podcast as Mendoza is breaking down the game-winning drive that he led for Indiana against Penn State a few weeks ago.
Yeah, they play kind of like their 2 joker structure where it's a little similar, and they have this middle safety who is really reading off the quarterback's eyes and really playing off that speed. And so we had speed of the field there. We had number 3, Omar Cooper Jr., who made the fantastic catch. Yeah. And so when I caught the ball, I looked over there and I saw his hips and eyes turn. So at that point, all I knew I needed to just beat that boundary curl defender and beat that boundary safety. And once I saw that safety go over the top to the outside receiver defending the whole shot, I just knew that I needed to put some arc and layer on it over that hook defender after that kind of like the hook curl defender in order to make that completion, because I knew the other guy, the Joker, had his hips to the speed.
I got
Fernando, do you see Coach's face right now? Hold on, look at your face, Coach Meyer. This is like the best
shit I've ever heard.
This is what I'm saying.
This is
Fernando. Look at his smile. This is as intense and happy as he's been in years.
So Fernando Mendoza's superpower is he's a genius. Like you listen to him, just talk about football and break down X's and O's. His superpower is not like this like crazy athleticism that he's just like unbelievable generational prospect like Caleb Williams was a couple of years ago. He is a fine athlete, but he's super accurate, super smart, and he's played a lot in college. So if you want the guy that has had a lot of experience, that has a high floor, that to me is Fernando Mendoza. His comp is Kirk and Jared Goff, for example. Both guys, if the Jets had Kirk Cousins for most of his career or Jared Goff, they would easily be the best quarterback the Jets have had besides Namath in their history. So, I think people need to understand that the Jared Goff comp for Fernando Mendoza is not a bad thing. And remember where the head coach comes from, by the way. He comes from Detroit. So it would not shock me if that's the guy that the Jets end up really liking. It's just a matter of, are they in position to actually get that player if they want him, and what would it cost to move up if they're not in position to get that player with where their initial pick is?
Yeah, and I love the more athletic Kirk Cousins comp. I think is like honestly perfect for Fernando Mendoza. And like, I don't know, I would sign up for a guy who completes like 65 to 70% of his passes, 30 touchdowns a year, and is a little bit more athletic than what Kirk Cousins gives you. He just seems like football nerd is the word that I think of, or the phrase I think of when Fernando Mendoza speaks. I get it. Like, he doesn't have this crazy intense persona, and maybe that's something that some people look for in a quarterback, but I don't think there's exactly one recipe to make a quarterback successful. Some guys just no ball, and Fernando Mendoza feels like one of those guys who just nerds out about football, and I love it.
I'm in it. This is the guy they want. I'm taking him. I think people are nuts when they're like, oh, you trade up a first for Fernando Mendoza. What choice do you have? And it's the first at the end of the first round. Like, why do you make these deals in the first place? It's so you could get the quarterback that you want, right? If Glenn and Muji aren't going anywhere, you have to let them pick their quarterback. Even if I have real doubts about the head coach, like, you got to just hope that they get it right here. And even if you had the best coaches in the world, they don't always get it right. Kyle Shanahan traded up for Trey Lance. And if they couldn't get Trey Lance, you know what they tried to do? They tried to make a trade with the Jets so they could take Zach Wilson. So it's an inexact science. A year ago, Jackson Dart was not going in the first round. I think even on draft day, we were skeptical whether or not he'd be a first-round pick. The Giants traded up for him at the end of round 1. If we're doing a redraft now, he'd be the first pick before Cam Ward. So you just never know. You got to get your guy, and then the Jets still have, even after this deal, a boatload of picks, plus close to $100 million in cap space this offseason to fill out the rest of the team. Like, I understand we all want to use these picks to fill out the roster. You still can. We're only trading 2 of them over 2 years here. We still have 3 ones and 27, and we still have an extra second rounder this year. I'm all in on making some deals here to get our quarterback if that's what it takes.
Yeah, well, what was the reason why they traded Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner? It was, yeah, they're good players, but the Jets stink because they don't have a quarterback. And once we got all these picks, you know, as Jet fans, what were we saying? None of this matters unless they get quarterback right. So if you use those picks and if you hit on Fernando Mendoza and you take him, and I get it if some people are like, I don't know if he's the guy. Okay, so draft Ty Simpson. Or if you don't think either of those guys are the dude, then all right, then this isn't the year to trade up. But if the Jets have a strong conviction on one of these players, I don't have an issue with them going up and trying to make it happen. I really don't.
Comments, questions, super chats. They cut the line. I'm about to pin the Gusbuster umbrella hotline link. I definitely know the Asmaniacs are going to have a lot to say on this one. Click the like button. And if you're just tuning in, we got a monster giveaway on the show today. It's a signed Joe Namath football. You can enter by gifting a membership or by sending in a $10 super chat or higher. And that is what Jetstream did to start us off. He says, I would not trade up to 1 in this draft personally. Not a fan of the QBs this year. I would possibly trade up late in the first, though. I mean, it's so early still. So maybe there is that scenario where the Jets could do something to what the Giants did last year, where they took this great player with their own pick in the top 5, and then they traded back into round 1 to get their quarterback as Dart was falling. You know, maybe in this scenario, the Jets take their player, and then because they have that Colts pick, they're just moving up maybe from 28 to 20 to get their guy, or into the teens, and it doesn't cost as much. There's just so many options. Me personally, though, Matt, I am not a fan of the let's just wait till 27 to get our guy. I don't think it matches the timeline that Glenn and Muji are on. I don't think you could sell your fan base on another year of just a bridge quarterback not going anywhere. And to me, when we all say every year, oh, next year's class is better, so often that never pans out, including this year's class, which was supposed to be this elite QB class. And now it's actually 2027 when that's going to happen. I just don't believe in that approach. Give me your thoughts on the wait till 2027 strategy.
I personally like Ty Simpson and Fernando Mendoza enough to do that, even if it's not trading up to 1, even if you just have to move up a few spots and one of those 2 guys are gone and you're taking the other. I'm okay with it. I get where some fans are coming from on not loving this quarterback class, but you put yourself in a really tough spot waiting, because then in 2027, what if the Jets do get a bridge quarterback and they are a little bit better next year and they're picking like 12th? Okay, you're still not a playoff team, but you won maybe, I don't know, 7 games with Mac Jones or whoever, insert your bridge quarterback here. What if the teams in front of you don't want to trade down?
Right.
Like, there's also a scenario where the teams just don't want, like the Giants wanted to trade up badly for Drake May a couple years ago. New England laughed and said, "F you, we're taking him." So like, I don't know. We could dream about all the 2027, quarterbacks and all the assets you have in that draft too. But there's no guarantee that you'd be able to trade up for someone in 2027.
You know what the people that want to wait till 2027 are going to be saying a year from now too, by the way? Oh, we're going to trade that much for this quarterback? The same thing that people are saying now, laughing at the idea that 1 first and 1 second is a lot to move up to get Mendoza. No, it's not. I'm swapping my 1, going from 5 to 1, giving up an extra 1 that I got in a deal for this exact reason, and I'm trading a second in 27, but I still have my 2 2s in 26 and my 3 1s in 27. This is a no-brainer, man. And you would give Muji and Glenn credit because they extracted way more than I think any of us could have imagined if we ever dreamed of them trading Sauce, which we didn't think was possible because they just signed him. And Quinnen, I never thought was going to get him a 1 and a 2. I thought they'd be lucky to just get a 2.
Yeah, no, exactly. Right. You got good value returns on both Sauce and Quinnen Williams. And it is weird to see both those guys in different uniforms, not the Jets. But again, you did it for the reason to find your quarterback and put pieces around him. And I think, you still have a 2nd round pick this year. You could try to find a wide receiver too in the 2nd round, or an edge rusher or a linebacker or whatever else you're trying to do. And then with 3 first round picks, it's supposed to be a really good draft class next year, in addition to the quarterbacks, right? So if you hit on your quarterbacks this year, maybe next year is when you're trying to find that star wide receiver or your edge rusher or whatever else you're looking to do to your roster at that point. So I'm in on this. I really like it. I think it's fair. And if it was presented to the Jets, that trade package, I would do it in a second.
I think the Jets would do it in a second too. I think they'd be like, "That's it? Really? We're in." Ladies and gentlemen, it's happening.
It's the Asmaniac membership raffle. For every membership gifted, you receive 1 ticket entered in the raffle to win epic prizes.
It's raining memberships. Rick Kent just gifted 20 channel memberships to get himself in the Asmaniac raffle. Not 1, not 2, not 5, not 7, not 15. How about 20 times? Rick Kent making it rain. If you hear your name, thank Rick for making you a channel member. Douglas Welch, Big Fupa, Mark Yachenko, Monica Naguin, JR, NY Jets DH, Douglas Welch, Kagarian, Whitney Gilmore, any relation to Happy, Make the Jets Cool Again, Sean the Millman, David R., Lucas Ford, Gardner Corner, Cisco Roque, Gary Papa, Azia Russell, all receiving a gifted membership there from Rick Kent. Reminder, folks, raffle at the end of our second show for the Name It Football. But the key thing to note is when you enter for the Name It Football, you also are automatically entered to win a signed Corbett helmet, Armand Membu jersey, and Nick Mangold autographed football during our weekly raffle series every Tuesday. More super chats again. Thank you to Rick Kent. Kyle Clifton checking in. He goes, "What is the wedding song? Flavor of the wedding cake." Mine was George Harrison's "If Not For You" and Snickerdoodle cake. It was early February, and my wife was sick at reception. I think it was unrelated to me, but not sure. Kyle Clifton with some hard-hitting wedding questions for Matt O'Leary.
Yes. So wedding song is Codaline the One. Codaline's Irish band. And flavor of the wedding cake is half of it's chocolate and the other half is funfetti with, I believe, chocolate frosting.
I like that. I feel very good about your choices.
Thank you. Yeah, very, very excited for it. And I am gluten-free. I have celiac disease, so the cake is gluten-free, but it's so good you won't be able to tell. Not Bare Naked, excuse me. It's Batter Up Bakery. Shout out. Levittown, Long Island, baby.
Let's go. Boomtown checks in. For everyone saying no to this scenario, would you have traded Sauce in a second for the number 1 pick this draft? Great point.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it, Boomtown. I love it.
Like, again, they have so many picks, and you're not touching the 2027 pick in this trade scenario. I think most people would assume you'd have to give up one of your firsts in 27. This you don't. You're trading one of your maybe someone would prefer to trade one of the first in 27 and keep the Colts pick so you can get a player this year that could help you right away. I go, either one on that I could live with. But to me, I like the idea of still having 3 1s in 27 because for those worried about having to trade the Colt pick this year and a second next year. Well, guess what? All I need to do is make one trade back with one of my 2027 picks, and I just recouped what I gave up for Fernando Mendoza anyway.
Yeah, and then exactly, right? And you have 3 opportunities to do that in the first round. So they might not even have to trade out of the first round, right? They could, from their middle pick, just slide back, 10 picks, and that might be enough to recoup the value that you gave in 2027. So I think, like, again, we've been saying this scenario that's laid out by Matt Miller just makes too much sense.
I'm in. If you believe in Mendoza, get him. This is not a crazy ask to move up from 5 to 1. Paul in the house. Paul Fiore says, if AG and Muji believe in the QB, it's a no-brainer. Yeah, they got one pick at this. If this is their guy, get him. I mean, I'll live with it. This is what you got to do.
Yep. 100%. I'm in agreement here with this comment.
Jetstream says, I'm not going to lie. You moved the needle on Mendoza for me with the video you displayed of him dissecting that final drive. Impressive. His superpower is not, your typical number 1 pick. He's incredibly accurate and he's really smart. And I don't know, he kind of has that personality that, like, he's just all ball. He's kind of like a little, like, football nerd guy. Like, I think that works in New York. I think that's kind of what you need here. I don't want a guy that, is going to be, like, out partying and, New York's going to overwhelm him. I just think he's all ball. I think he's well-grounded. I think that's the personality that would play well with the Jet fan base.
Yeah, he feels like someone who would be able to tune out the noise, right? And, like, not really worry about what the press or what the fans are saying about him. And I guess you never truly know until they're in that situation. But I feel like he's just someone who's going to be, locked in and worrying about football. And that's what we need to see.
C. Natty in the Joe Namath football raffle. He became a member himself. Thank you, C. Natty. Hit the Jet chant for him. Our guy Rat Diddy checking in says he agrees with both of us on the approach to get the quarterback in 2026. He wants to know when is Dom C coming on the talk quarterback. Soon. I've been in touch with Dom. He is the man. And it's unfortunately already Dom C season, Matt, because we're Jet fans and it's November 20th. So what else will we be discussing with our team?
Of course, mock draft season. And to me, there's no one better than Dom C, man. He helps me out a ton with his rankings because he watches more college football and more, scouting than I think any of us on here. So he's usually my baseline, right? I do all my own research after the fact, but I think he gives his outlines are so helpful to me in doing this content. I'm sure the same for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Dom C. If you're out there, Dom, call in anytime. But I will schedule you on the show very, very soon. How about this? Wow, Jetstream, our second listener, to drop a 20 spot for the community. Hit it.
Get your ass off my super chats. Some of these are gifted memberships too.
Hey.
The hell with it.
It's raining, baby. Grab your Gustbusters. Jetstream just made 20 more people channel members. If you hear your name called, you thank Jetstream. Red John, Rex Ryan, YO Jet Fan, Sean 24, Heath, AJ, Garrett Loescher, A&J Gaming, Trisnik, Zach Rosenberg, 2025 lacrosse goalie, Rob L, Tommy Pickles, Johnny Danks, Jesse Smith, Jet Fan 051, Michael Danapolis, Alan, you have gonorrhea, Michael Felice, and Joe M, all receiving a gifted membership from Jetstream 1989. Jetstream, you're the man. Appreciate your support. And we got you down in the raffle for the Joe Namath autograph football coming up later on the second stream today. We're combining memberships across both shows. All right, let's do some calls here. I'm sure the fan base will be split because that's what's going to happen the entire offseason. There'll be the debate on which quarterback, the debate on is it worth it to trade up, and then the entirely separate debate on quarterback in 2027. And then even before any of those things I outlined, I forgot the debate on do we just bring in Kyler Murray or do we just try and bring in Dak or Trevor Lawrence or Brock Purdy or the pipe dream of Joe Burrow. There's a lot of arguing that's coming for the Jet fan base.
We can never agree.
Uh-oh.
There we go.
They tried to knock you off the air, Matt. Look what they did to you.
I can't believe they did that to me. We can't agree on anything as a fan base. So it's just perfect that we can debate this for the next 4.5 months.
Can't wait. Cannot wait. All right, let's do some calls now, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, first up today is a man we love, we respect. Some might even fear him.
It's time for another V-Man call. Hopefully he's not sleeping. Adios mio.
Hey, what's up?
V-Man, how high are you? Good Lord.
I'm not. I got back from work.
You look very happy.
Oh, you know, Lions was goofing off camera.
Why don't you take a nap today, V-Man? You look sleepy.
You do look.
No,
sleepy.
I'm fine right now. We can talk.
Okay. What do you have for us,
Yeah,
V-Man?
no. So on the Mendoza, I'm all in on Mendoza. Obviously, you know, I made that promise.
If his last name was Smith, would you care as much?
I mean, like, I'm honestly gonna tell you what I gotta rep my fellow Latinos.
There you go. Well, whatever works.
You know, it's like, and then I said I told Jake this because since he's Cuban, he can steal the salsa from Victor Cruz.
Salsa.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's like, look, I like him. Like I said, I like that he's intelligent. I like that, you know, he's hyper intelligent. You know, he's got good athleticism. You know, that's what, you know. I think that's what we've lacked at the position. You know, it's like we've had talent. I think we've had players that have had talent, but they just haven't had the, you know, the ability to put it all to, you know, to process it. You know, and that's the thing that he has. That's his great strength. Is his intelligence, his ability to dissect plays. I think and you mentioned it. That's what they were working with in Detroit with Jared Goff. You know, the type of dissector type of quarterback. You know, so I like the move here, and I like that you're not giving up that much for him. You know, I'm confident. You know, I like I said, this is the way I feel like we gotta go. You know, even if I gotta, I'm gonna also, like I said, I'm gonna step out here. I'm gonna rep my fellow Latinos. You know, I have nothing but respect for them. You know, always.
Hey, V-Man, what type of advice would you give to Matt who's getting married Saturday?
I can't give you any advice. Just don't. Let's see. What? Okay. Don't do anything stupid that'll make you forget it.
That's good advice. So maybe lay off the weed for
Well, you know, because
Saturday.
the last time I attended, because I can tell you, last time I attended a wedding, I had no memory of it. I woke up with no
Really?
memory of it.
You too drunk?
No, it's like I said, the last major wedding that I was a part of was ages ago, and I was ages ago when I was a little kid, and I just woke up the next day with no memory of it.
Sounds like someone roofied you.
Maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Who knows?
It's a great angle
But
for
you
you,
know,
man. The chat is really liking how
you
close
know
you
what
are
I'm
to
going
the
to say?
camera.
This. I'm going to say this. Like, if the Jets do end up drafting Mendoza, not only am I going to dance, I'm just going to I'm going to film myself reacting to it, and I will play the most Cuban song I can possibly imagine.
How about you make some Cuban sandwiches if they draft them? All right.
And no, I don't.
No.
I'm not a fan of Cuban sandwiches. I'm a tripleta guy.
We now go live to our political expert, Vincent.
You want to be a real political party, target areas where you can win. Until then, you're going to be the political clown show that every American and everyone on the left is going to laugh at. So, that's all.
Helping us change the world. Thank you, V-Man.
What a call to start it off.
Incredible. That was, we haven't seen V-Man, or I haven't seen V-Man in a while, so it was great to see him.
Someone asked yesterday about V-Man. I said he called in the other day, and now V-Man's called in twice this week. So there you go for all the V-Man fans out there.
Love it.
Rat Diddy says the Browns are the biggest competitor for our QB. They have 2 1s as well. So the Browns only Jacksonville Jaguars pick this year. So if the Browns are dead set on one of these guys, then yeah, I mean, the Jets and the Browns could be bidding for the top spot. We'll see who gets the top spot. The other thing that complicates everything is, say a quarterback needy team is picking one. There's no guarantee that they wouldn't just take the quarterback if they also believe in the guy. Not every team will do what the Bears did, where they were willing to trade out of one because at the time, ironically, they still were trying to build around Justin Fields. I mean, if the Giants get the number 1 pick, they're not going QB. If Tennessee gets the number 1 pick, they're not going QB. But the Raiders, the Saints, Cleveland, they're taking a quarterback in all likelihood. Now, could you still get someone? Yes. Maybe you get Ty Simpson or Mendoza, whichever one, if those are the top guys when we get to April, aren't picked number one. So there still is that chance. But if you want to get to number one overall, the best way for the Jets to do it is to root for a team like the Titans to be picking at one so you can make a deal with them.
Yeah, I think the Giants or the Titans picking one is best case scenario because the four teams you just rattled off, including the Jets, all could have the case to take a quarterback. So if one of those four end up with the number one pick, that trade goes out the window. But, hopefully, I don't know. Tennessee is pretty bad. I don't know if they win another game this year, Jake.
They're so bad. I mean, they do play the Jets. So maybe the Jets would potentially. Are you talking about the Titans? I mean, I was thinking of the Saints. Yeah, I was thinking of the Saints. Yeah, so the Saints do play the Titans. That's what I was thinking of. So maybe there's a game there. I don't know. Tennessee they're bad. They're real bad. So I'm with you. More of your calls right now. Apologies in advance for this guy.
Warning! Warning! Allen alert! Shit's about to get ugly, folks. Warning! Allen alert! Hide the children.
Good morning, gentlemen. First of all, Matt, congratulations.
Thank you.
My advice for Saturday night with all these dopey content creators there, I would confiscate their phones during the ceremony. Happy wife, happy life. Do not let them shoot anything during the ceremony. Okay.
Why would we shoot anything?
Tuesday night in Dallas was awesome. What a great environment with a lot of Islander fans there. It was awesome.
F. Nico Randon.
Yeah. Awesome experience. Now let's talk about Matt Miller. He makes me wish that they kept McShay. Okay. There is no way on this planet I am making that trade. I was listening to Connor Rogers the other day on Badlands. Okay. He brought up this exact scenario and he said what it would most likely take is both Colts picks, both Colts ones. Okay. And his answer is hell no, I would not make this trade. Okay. Fernando Mendoza is a good quarterback. He will be exposed against the speed of the Ohio State defense. V-Man said he's athletic. He's really not. He's an average to below average athletic quarterback. Okay. He's pinpoint accurate and he's smart. Against speed rushers and against speed defenders, he will be exposed. And if I were the Jets, if he falls to us, perfect. I am not trading any assets to a team that is barren of talent. I understand Jet fans like you guys are impatient.
Don't give me the you guys. You claim to be a Jet fan.
Like you too, okay? Yes, you two and a bunch of the people in the chat.
You too. No, Alan, we believe in getting a quarterback this year.
Why the Jets are where they are.
That's not why they are where they are. Not at all.
They are.
It's not.
This is an average quarterback class, okay?
And next year is going to be so much better. Again, you're the same guy telling us Garrett Nussmeier was going to be a top 10 pick this year.
Move up next year with the 3 1s and get your quarterback.
You're not going to be able to necessarily move up next year. You have no guarantee. There is no guarantee of that.
Quarterbacks next
Ask
year.
the Giants about being able to move up to get their quarterback.
Hold on. You can move 3 quarterbacks to move up, and there'll be 4 to 5 quarterbacks in the top 15 next year.
You have no idea.
I'm not trading anybody.
You have no idea. You told me Garrett Nussmeier was going to be a top 8 pick this year.
I did, and he isn't.
So there's no guarantee that next year some of these guys are going to be as good.
I think Moore is going to be a top 15 pick.
What if Moore comes out this year? You don't know if he won't.
Moore's coming out this year. Okay?
Well, we have plenty of time to figure it out because it's only November 20th.
I would never make this trade for a guy.
Your big thing. Hold on a second. You were calling in the other day saying, I won't trade any of the 2027 picks. I'm not touching the first round.
I said I'm not trading any first round picks.
And guess what?
This year,
you're only trading one. Oh, please. Now we're not trading any first round picks. That's not what you were saying. You said you won't trade the 27 first round picks. You won't trade them.
I'm not trading anything more than a second to move up. I'm not trading any first round.
You just said before all this, Fernando Mendoza is a good quarterback. Guess what the Jets need? They need a quarterback, a good quarterback.
Let him fall to us. I am not trading any assets to move up to go get him. Okay, I'm just not.
So what
I'm
is
not
your
doing
issue
it.
here? Because with respect to Connor Rogers, he's also speculating, as Matt Miller is, on what the cost would be to move up. There's examples of it costing more. There's examples of it costing less. This particular example here, I think, is fair for the Jets to go from 5 to 1.
Move up. I'm not.
You just want the Jets to be bad.
It's not true.
You know. You start your call with you
patient.
impatient Jet
You
fans.
are not.
You have "Let's Go Ravens"
I don't
underneath your
believe
thing
that
there.
This quarterback is the all-world quarterback.
And next year's going to be so much better. How could you wait till next year?
I do not think he is great. I think he will be exposed against Ohio State.
And if he's not, what if he's not?
If he is lights out,
how will you move the goalpost next if he looks good against Ohio State?
Maybe. But I am not trading anything of value for this guy. I am not. I'm not doing it. I'm not. That's why, again, that's
is
why
your dream scenario the Jets to not take any quarterback ever and be bad? You prefer Brady Cook to start every game next year. Is that your plan?
I would trade for Tanner McKee and let him be our bridge.
Tanner McKee?
Yes, I would have him be
our
bridge.
What have you seen from Tanner McKee that tells you he's going to be a good quarterback?
Because I think you can get him for less than a number 1 pick.
I'd imagine you would be able to get a career backup for less than a number 1 pick.
I would rather have a bridge than trade future.
No, all you want is the Jets to lose.
To move up. I am not sold on the quarterback.
You probably want them to run back Justin Fields again next year.
I would not bring back Justin Fields. I told you I wouldn't. I said I would post 6-1 cut him. I told you that last time.
What do you want, Mitch Trubisky?
No, I said I would take Tanner McKee, or I would trade a late round pick for even a Mills. I don't care. I want a bridge. I am not trading any future assets.
You just want the Jets to suck
to move up. It's not true, Jake. You continue to say this. You act like a fool.
There's no bridge. There's no bridge option.
I don't want the Jets to suck. They suck in general. Okay.
You love it.
I don't want them to trade current or future assets.
You move the goalpost every time. First it was, hold on. Did you not say in your previous call, I'm not trading any of the 2027 ones? They didn't do that in this deal.
I also said in the previous call, I would give up a 2, and that's it.
So they're giving up a late one this year and a 2.
To move up. I'm not.
Well, you know what, Alan? I look forward to having the same argument with you for many more months.
I'm not trading a 1, Jake. Again,
oh, yeah. Thank you, Alan. I can't. Like I'm telling you, no matter what the Jets do, he will complain about it. The Jets could actually win the Super Bowl 35-31. Alan's first call would be complaining that the defense allowed too many points in the game. Or then his second call will be, man, we're really screwed for our future because we're picking 32 in the first round now. I mean, this is what he does. Like, he moves the goalpost every call. At first it was, I'm not trading any of the 2027 first rounders. Well, guess what? They didn't in this. They traded a late one, swapped picks with the Colts, and traded a second rounder in 27, which I could easily recoup by making one trade out with whichever is the latest pick from my 2027 3 first rounders. Like, if you like Mendoza, you need a quarterback, you got to get him. I don't care if you don't like him, Alan. If Darren Muji and Aaron Glenn like him, they're going to get him.
No, exactly. And I think with Connor, he referenced the Connor Rogers trade, and that is obviously a lot more than what the Jets just gave up. It was both the Indianapolis first round picks, but that wasn't what we were talking about. We were talking about a second round pick next year and the first round pick this year. So I'm good with it. I think if the Jets have a strong conviction on either of those 2 quarterbacks, then they should do it.
V-Man says, Alan, you're a negative Nancy. That's all you are. Well said, V-Man. Dom says, the only smart thing about Alan is the Isles hat. Yes, it is terrible that he is an Islander fan, though. He's a bad representative for us.
He is a big Islanders fan.
Remember the Islanders started 0-3, and his first call to you that day when you joined the show was about tanking already and trading away everyone. And now the Islanders would be a playoff team right now, and they've been playing with some of the best hockey in the league the last month.
This is true. They're 11-4 after that 0-3 start.
Nate says, what song is the first dance, Matt?
Codaline, The One.
Excellent selection. I think I know that song. Dan says, I can't believe we're here again, fellas. Trapped in a time loop of mock drafts and film of the future QB. If it doesn't work out, do we trade for Stafford? I don't think Stafford's going anywhere, man. And plus, I don't think the Jets aren't going to be in those waters. Like Stafford, still outstanding player. He's in his late 30s already. You're not a quarterback away like they were, or we thought they were with Rodgers a few years ago. It's a different scenario.
Completely different scenario, and that's a win now move, and the Jets are not in win now mode.
Black Gypsy says, LOL, Allen acts like he's part of Jets management. No one gets an F about what Allen thinks in the Asmaniacs or Jets management. You know what it is? Like, we all give opinions as fans, but the way Allen presents his opinion is why people hate him. Because he just rubs people the wrong way with how he comes on and just like the way he words things. He's such an arrogant bastard, Allen. He's just unbelievable. All right. More of your calls right now. This guy is calling us from what appears to be the great outdoors. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
You know what time it is? A beast breaker. 666. I'm gonna take my fist and shove it up your ass. And then he got
Beast?
Muted.
Beast, unmute your mic.
It's already on mute. Allen's takes were pretty... Allen deserves this. 1, 2, 3. A kick in the ass. That's what he needs. A good kick in the ass. Nice size 11. Because in the words of The Rock, if he smells what The Rock is cooking.
What are you up to, Beast?
We're going to... You save big money when you shop at Menards.
There we go.
Yeah, 3 Audi bags, the wagon. You know what time it is. And hell, you know what? I'm in a Rex Ryan mood, so you know what? Let's play a little. You don't know what time it is. You try to throw them away. You know the saying? No, hey, fuck Gruden and all his boys. I'm here to play with the guys. But let's get realistic. Alan, next time you talk, I'm gonna knock your teeth out and then drag you all over the place like you were just a rag doll on your rag, bum boy. Cause you ain't Jets material. Not my league. You ain't got no nuts. You ain't got no cuts. And sure as hell, you sure as bang old sus because you ain't no pimp. Because there is only one thing you are, and that is a one-legged gimp. And just remember, just like a pimp says to his hoes, keep him coming.
I'm the global beast. I'm gonna save the universe.
Thank you, Beast.
That was great.
Great takes as always. Ladies and gentlemen, more of your calls right now. Let's say hello to a man who we love, we respect, and it's up to you to decide where the man is calling from. It's Clifton time.
Always hard to follow the beast.
You could do it, Kyle. I believe in you.
Thanks, Jake. I appreciate that. So I don't mind the price to go up and get a quarterback that Miller is laying out, right? Like if you really believe in a guy, that's probably an appropriate price. I think Allen's point is he doesn't believe that this quarterback class, the 2 guys really at the forefront of it, would merit it. So, like, look, here's the scenario, right? You're the Jets brain trust, and Dante Moore decides to go back in, and you think that his skill set translates much better to the NFL than those 2 guys. Why wouldn't you wait?
How do you guarantee you get him though in 27?
Well, you have a better chance of getting him in 30s and with 3 first-round picks in 27. No,
but you want to trade 3 ones to potentially, or it'd be your own and then 2 more to potentially get a rookie. And then here's my biggest issue with that strategy. If you're Glenn and Muji and your plan is 2027, you're not guaranteed 2027. What if the Jets go 4-13 in 26? You think Woody's going to be patient and let them pick their quarterback, and then they're on the hot seat with a rookie in their 3rd year? Like, if they don't win with a rookie, let's say they go from 4 wins to 7-10 with that rookie in 2027. Are they guaranteed a 2028? I don't know. That'd be 3 straight losing years with Aaron Glenn as the head coach. And other than Robert Saleh, no coach survives 3 straight losing seasons and gets a 4th year. And Saleh got 5 games in his 4th year.
I think that Glenn has Woody's ear. I think that if he outlines the plan,
he has it now. You think Woody's going to listen to a plan if they go 4-13 in 2026?
I don't know.
That's why they need to get the quarterback this offseason.
That's not a way to build the team, though. Like, to force the quarterback this year is not.
What did they like the quarterbacks, though?
Well, that's a different story, right? Like, I prefer Simpson slightly over Mendoza, but I also recognize that Simpson hasn't played a lot of football, and that Mendoza is probably not going to be, a top third of the league starter. Basically, based on what I've seen, he could be a competent starter, but I'm not seeing it just yet. Now, I don't evaluate quarterbacks professionally for a living. I don't know if you've heard this, but
you're not Allen.
I'm not Allen, no. But I mean, Allen is a little negative, but he's sometimes he brings some value. But like, and in this case, it's that the quarterback class, the 2 guys that you would probably target if you're picking in this spot might not merit the selection specifically to waste the draft capital. And we might be wrong. My point is, if they spend that capital, they got to be right. Because if this guy comes in and this year he really shits the bed, right? And I do like. To go to your point, Jake, if he looks like he can't, it's Mendoza, and he looks like he can't play in the league, then I would be worried about Glenn and Muji's 3rd year, right? Like that's because we've already gone through this with drafting a guy that was kind of overrated, or kind of hyped up during the pre-draft process. The level of competition is a little bit better than you had with Zach. But like, my whole concern is I don't want to force it. We don't need to force it. We can start to build the team around him and then go out and get the player. Because I think he's getting a 3rd year no matter what. That I really do. Because like if you're going to commit to him like this, let him make these trades. To me, I think he's getting a 4-year runway. Like I think it's crazy to let him make those trades. I wanted to see how this year would have played off, but since they've done it, I think he's got a complete runway for 3 or 4 years to have control of this team.
Yeah, Kyle, all fair. I don't know if he has the runway that we think he does. And he being Aaron Glenn. Like I think Woody could be impatient, as we know. I think he believes in Glenn, but I think when they made the deals telling Woody they're going to get their quarterback figured out this offseason long term. Just like when Brian Dable was spared by John Mara this past offseason with the Giants, he told John Mara and Steve Tisch, we're going to get our quarterback this offseason. And people said, good luck with that. You don't have the top pick. You're not going to be able to get Cam Ward, or at the time it was Shedeur Sanders. How are you going to find your quarterback? Remember the Giants tried with Aaron Rodgers. He said no. They tried Stafford. He said no. Well, they figured it out and they got Jackson Dart. I think a similar promise was probably made by Glenn and Muji to Woody if Woody was gonna okay these deals with Quinnen and Sauce. I think they're gonna find their quarterback this offseason. Maybe it's not in the draft. Maybe it is a different veteran we're not talking about right now. But I just don't think the strategy of bridge for 26 and we'll get our guy in 27. I don't think they're guaranteed 27 if they win 4 or 5 games.
So I do think it's definitely more likely that they go and try to find their quarterback this offseason than next offseason. However, I do think I'm more optimistic than you are that they're going to get 2027 after making all the trades that they did. Now, you bring up a good point with if they win 4 games, does that complicate things? It probably does, but it would be really hard for me at least to understand Woody Johnson buying in enough to let them make the trades with all the capital in 2027 and then pulling the plug on it before they even get to 2027.
Also, I have been hacked on Twitter. Just letting everyone know that there is an account I just got a bunch of people sending me a thing being like, Jake, did you get hacked on Twitter? So I did. This tweet for whatever FTP crypto thing is not me. I've been locked out of my account. I can't even sign on here. So I don't. Didn't this happen to you, Matt?
It did. Yes, it took a little bit to get out of it. We gotta reach out to our guy, Purple Belt Mike.
PBM, hit me up. Hit me up. Please note that at Jake Asman's X account has been hacked. I'm posting that from my show account. All right. PBM, if you're out there, hit me up. I will finish the show and deal with this after. All right, Matt, one last call for you here because it's a special occasion, the last show before you're a married man. So you have to check in with the legend himself.
Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course. How you like that, Matt? Jake
I love it.
Yeah, Addison has his own show now, too, on my channel. And he gets to throw me through the same thing. So
I love it.
I'm very popular on that, getting thrown. I'm surprised they'd be able to lift my fat ass up the chair. That's one thing. What do you eat, spinach, Jake? You eat spinach?
Do I eat spinach, Bob? I do.
Yeah, you have to because I'm fat. You can't pick me up like that.
Like Popeye.
That's only on AI, though. But it's congratulations for your wedding on Saturday.
Thank you. Yes, very excited for Saturday.
And I hear you got to have mashed potato bar. That sounds good.
That's been the highlight. Jeremy from Jets Chaos can't stop talking about it.
Yeah, and also green bean yesterday on Jake's show. And then you're gonna have chicken parmesan too, I hope.
I believe there is going to be chicken parm.
I make good stuff. I could cook for you. No, I'm not kidding. You probably have a lot of guests over there, though.
Yeah, can you cook for 187?
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I could do that. I hope you and your future wife will be happy and pet. You have a dog right now?
No, not yet. No dog
You
yet.
get your dog now.
Yeah, that's
and where is the big honeymoon going to be? Florida?
We haven't decided yet. We're not going right away. We're going to go over the summer.
That's a good idea.
Schedule and with Taylor's work schedule, it just we're going to push it off a little bit, but we actually haven't decided yet.
That would be good. I hope you have a good time.
Thank you.
And Jake, you have a party of your life on Saturday with all the YouTube creators.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, everything's going good. Yeah. My toe looking good. My toe is looking good. So. Hi, everybody. This is Bob from Vermont. I am Bob, of course.
I don't know if Matt wants to hear about your toe right now, Bob.
Well, I'm glad his toe is doing better.
Matt, appreciate you hopping on. As always, looking forward to Saturday to watch you get married.
Absolutely. It's going to be a blast. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it, Jake. See you Saturday.
Matt, you're the man. Ladies and gentlemen, the soon-to-be married Matt O'Leary. All right, I am trying to multitask right now because my Twitter account got hacked, so I don't know exactly what to do. I tried to do the old get my password back, but that's gone. So, yeah, this is not ideal here. It like locked my account. There's only been one tweet that's up so far. Maybe X shut it down. I don't know. I have no idea how to get onto it. I have reached out to Purple Belt Mike, though, who apparently is an expert in these things. He helped Matt O'Leary when this happened for him. On that note, I will continue with the show as I figure this one out. Let's say hello to Jordan, who's next. Hello, Jordan.
What's up, Jake? I know Matt just got off, but a little piece of advice for Matt for getting married. People like to say happy wife, happy life. I like to say happy spouse, happy house. It works both ways, you know? My Jets take for today is I think the Jets are going to have a little bit of a competitive game on Sunday. Surprisingly, I just feel like there's a good energy about this team right now since they made the trades. I think that these guys are like motivated to prove, you know, people around the league or the Jets organization and themselves, you know, to be part of this team in the future. So I think they're going to be a little bit more competitive. Might be in the game, but I still think they're going to lose. But I think it's going to be a competitive game for some reason. Just got a weird feeling about it. And another thing I want to say is that with the whole draft thing and trading up, you know, like our O line is good, but remember, AVT got hurt, and John Simpson's up for a contract too this year, and Josh Myers is on a 1-year deal. What if they don't sign either one of those guys, and then we have to draft somebody? Because what if they don't trust AVT to stay healthy, and they don't want to sign John? Like, we don't know what their plan is for the O line, so it's like we're saying, oh well, let's draft a quarterback number one. But then yet, like, we're not sure what the line is going to look like yet because we're not sure what their plan is in the offseason with AVT and John. What do you think about that?
Well, I think because of Tippmann's flexibility, they could look at it like, okay, we know we have him and the 2 tackles locked in. Tippmann's our guard or center, depending on what's available to us, maybe in free agency or the draft. I have no problem bringing AVT back on a 1-year deal while also still drafting someone that eventually is the long-term answer there. I also don't think that there's any issue with keeping Simpson as well, depending on what his price point is, and even bringing Myers back on another 1-year deal. I would prefer continuity over trying to fill holes with different players. Let these guys who have played well this year have another full year playing together. So whoever the quarterback is next year is stepping into a really good situation. You have all the cap space to do it. So I think if they bring AVT back on a 1-year prove-it deal, I think they should use one of their early picks on day 2 and potentially get a center/guard, depending on who's better there. Yeah, and also I see some comments here. Jake, I think your Twitter got hacked. Yes, try doing a talk show while your X account was hacked. Moshe's just tuning in. Not sure if you know your Twitter was hacked. Oh, I'm aware, people. Oh, I am aware. Continue, Jordan.
Yeah, that's all I pretty much had. But I mean, I don't know how I feel about bringing AVT back, even though I really do like him. I think he's a really good player. But with the injury stuff, man, I understand it might be a cheap, good contract for him to sign, but I just really don't think it'll be worth it with just him just getting injured so much, But like you said, there's just no guarantees that we can make sure that he's going to stay healthy. But I wouldn't be mad if they did find a way to sign him because I agree with the continuity thing. But that's all I had for the day, Jake. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Jordan. Look, I think it's a fascinating question, right? Because how does this staff value the continuity aspect versus trying to think if they can upgrade? I don't know. More calls. Taylor from Connecticut's next. What's up, Taylor?
Jake, how you doing?
What's up, man?
I don't understand the people, the whole there's too many holes in the roster, so don't go get a QB this year, people, because on offense, you have an offensive line, and if you want to go get a receiver, you have the draft capital to go get a receiver too. I personally, with AD Mitchell under contract for 2 more years, I would keep, the 4, Garrett, him, Mechie, and Arian Smith, and then I guess Isaiah Williams is your gadget guy or whatever. I'd let it roll with that, and then if that proves to be, shit next year, go get a receiver with one of your top, get a high-end receiver with one of your top picks next year. I'm curious on your thoughts about tanking. Are you pro tank? Because the straight line to get, whichever QB you want is finish with 2 wins.
Yeah, look, at this point, if you told me that they lost out, but they didn't have to trade up any picks, I'm fine with it. But I don't think they're going to lose out, Taylor. I think they're going to win another game or 2. So I've already accepted that. I don't think they're as bad as some of the teams they're fighting with for the top pick. So I just don't see them finishing 2-15. I think they're probably going to finish with 4 wins this year.
Yeah, I agree, and probably wouldn't be great for Glenn and the coaching staff either. That was I'm not a huge tank guy. I was just curious. But my other question for you is, what would you like better, the trade scenario in this mock of giving up this year's first and next year's second, or same capital but reverse, 2027 first, probably either ours or the higher of the Packers Cowboys pick, because I assume a team wouldn't want the Colts pick, and this year's second.
Oof. Give me the scenario again. I got to think about this.
So this year's second and a 2027 first, not the Colts, and or the one in the mock today of.
I think I would do the one today. First. Yeah, I think I like the idea of having 3 ones for next year to protect myself in case it's so bad with whoever the quarterback is. We're doing the Kyler Murray, Josh Rosen thing, having extra picks to wheel and deal to get whatever we're missing from the 26 team. if Glenn is so bad, the job's attractive. If you're setting the next regime up with 3 first-rounders, something like that, I think what I'd prefer. I don't think either one is bad, though. If you traded one of the 27s and you still had 2, and you still had the Colts pick, like, what are we talking about here? You still have an enormous amount of resources.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's all I got today, Jake. Hope you get your Twitter figured out.
Yep. Thank you, Taylor. All right, I'm going to do one more call here, guys, because this Twitter hack thing is ruining my day, and I got to handle this immediately. But this guy's been waiting a while, so I want to honor that. Adam is next.
Adam is cool, although kind of basic. He claims he's too cool, though often quite basic. He makes great jet points, looks a little basic. Adam is cool, too cool, but basic. Some would say generic.
Hey, Jake. Sorry about your Twitter, dude.
Thanks, man.
All right. Hopefully you can get that all sorted out soon. Alan had a bridge to sell you. That joke kind of wrote itself, didn't it? Oh, man. I think everyone's got to just pump the brakes on Mendoza because the playoff is going to be where he makes his millions when it's all said and done. If he bombs, it's not going to help him in the draft. And if he does really well, he could be number 1. That's just the reality. And there are plenty of teams that I think want to hop over the Jets and steal a good QB from us. A lot of teams. So I actually think that price is expensive, but I think it's also factoring in that there's a lot of teams that need a QB that are willing to make that call. I think in terms of Mendoza's fit, I think that he operates in a run-first offense, even though he's throwing up these prolific passing numbers. The run game really dictates the pace. It dictates everything with the Indiana offense. Sounds familiar, doesn't it, in terms of what we want to do as a Jets offensive identity?
Assuming Engstrand is going to be sticking around, sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if we extend Brees and the O-line is, intact or even slightly improved, if we get EVT or whatever, if he gets good pass blocking, Mendoza can do exactly the things that Fields cannot do. And, he's not as mobile as Fields, but what good is Fields' mobility with this offense when it's all said and done?
Correct.
Right. And also I think from a cultural standpoint, Mendoza's been part of a cultural turnaround. I think that is valuable for the Jets. Does that mean he's the perfect fit? Not sure. There's a lot of people that are going to hate on Mendoza because of some flaws. It could also be Big Ten bias, stuff like that. I think we got to wait until December to see any meaningful results from him. But I think in terms of the numbers, in terms of his productivity, in terms of what you see, in terms of he had a Heisman moment, that drive was a big drive. Ty Simpson didn't have that, had the same opportunity, wasn't able to do it, but Mendoza did. He pulled off an incredible drive that everyone got to see on national TV, and it got overplayed and overplayed. So I can understand the excitement, not just for the Jets, but for a lot of teams that if the Jets are number 5, not number 1, there's a lot of room for them to hop over. So
the key for the Jets is Dante Moore hopefully coming out. You want more quarterbacks in there than not.
Yes, definitely. But at the same time, another year could be good. I think it is. I think I would prefer giving one of the 27 first rounders. If we're going to trade up, I'd rather give the following years because the whole point of having those 3 picks was to find the QB. So use it however you want it to. Use it twice. I just think in the end, those assets are valuable. If that's what it takes to prevent somebody from hopping over, like a Pittsburgh, like a Minnesota, to go grab the quarterback that we wanted in a competent offense, I think we got to do it. And I'm glad that we have the ability to do it. I think we could probably get whatever pick we want ahead of us with the assets we have. So we'll have to see. But everyone just pump the brakes on Mendoza. I think there's a lot of positives. It's very obvious, but in terms of if his real weakness is the occasional careless throw, every quarterback makes a careless throw. In terms of the sack stuff, he's intelligent enough to figure out how to fix it when the O-line is stronger. So I think, he's definitely top 15 pick at a minimum. I think that if he goes and wins the Natty with IU, he's number 1.
Well said. And look, he's going to get a ton of opportunities with the competition increasing, not just in the potential Big Ten championship game, but the playoff as well. So we will see. All right. I am going to go try and get my Twitter account back. Apologies for the short show. We will be back this afternoon with a long show with Dylan Terraman at 4 p.m. We will give away the signed Joe Namath helmet. So again, appreciate all you guys for your support. I'm going to figure out my Twitter because, God, it's just a huge pain in the ass. But again, thank you all for watching. JETS, Jets. I will talk to you guys this afternoon.
We got the three dumbest morons on here. Mo, Larry, and Curly.
And your name is Shitty.
Oh, hi. Jake wants me to ask you to click on the like button.
That's right, Lane. And if they don't subscribe to the Jake Asman Show, this team may never win another game. Let's go, Jets.